Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another video. So, I was talking to a sister about community in the UAE. And this comes up, I guess, pretty often for people who are living here for a long time. And their concern is that there's no community here. The Westerners, of course, they're complaining there's no community here. And the sister's concern was that it's she can meet sisters, but there's nothing put together for the people. So it was very, very general and vague, but I knew exactly what she meant. She meant Westerners. So she talked about volunteering and community centers, basically describing what they have in communities in the West. And she kept saying, I don't want to keep comparing, the West or England or the U.S. to the UAE, but there has to be something? I said, yes, there are. This is a Muslim society. Of course they have that. They have youth centers that anybody can join. And a youth in Islam is someone under 55 years old. That's considered a shabab. You're a shab or shaba. They have youth centers for creativity. They have workshops at those youth centers. They have workout sessions at those youth centers. They have volunteering groups through volunteers.ae. I share this with the sisters all the time, right? But the issue is they want something that's exclusively for Westerners. That's what they mean. Lack of community. You have sisters who are having difficulty with marrying their children off. They've been living here for many, many years. Children are growing up here. But because expats or muhajirin, I don't want to call them expats, muhajirin, they come and they go and they do not stay here long periods of time for whatever reason. They gave up on the Hijra, they forgot about the Hijra, whatever it was, they leave. And there aren't loads of Westerners, Western Muslims, Salafiyin, that are flocking to the UAE who have children who are marriageable. Young adult children who are marriageable. That's just not happening. So what happens is when you don't integrate into the society and open up your marriage pool options to other nationalities, whether they be local or otherwise, from the many, many nationalities that are here, you're going to feel extremely restricted and your children are going to feel frustrated. And I think I mentioned this before, how some parents, they literally cut their children off from the society. Like they speak as if there's nothing here for them, which is insane. You have a completely functioning society around you. People are here going to college, making careers for themselves, making businesses for themselves, legacies for themselves and their children, building homes, buying homes. They're in the mix. You have communities being formed. You have the Filipino community. You have their stuff. You have the Indians. Of course, they've been here for for generations. They have their centers. They have everything they need. Why is it that the Westerners who've been here for many, many years feels like, or they have the same song, there's no community? How is it no community when you all know each other? I'm confused. You want your own section? So this is what I said to the sister. This is some things I said to consider. I said, number one, Westerners want their own thing. But what they didn't realize is that Western Muslims, they want their own thing. Like everything should be catered towards them. They should be running it. They should have a masjid, a general masjid that they all go to and gather to. They want to make a community here like they have in the West. But this is what they didn't consider. And you all should consider this. When you're in the West, it's you against them. And what I mean by that is you are a minority. The Muslim and then you're Salafi, you are double minority. And if you're African American, you're triple minority. You're Muslim, African American, and you Salafi. You're triple minority, right? In a secular society. So we're forced into communities. We're forced to be together in that way. So it looks like that we're actually together. Not, and no one knows or understands that we are actually coming from separatist societies where they teach you every man for himself, right? Now, follow me. Once the Westerners get here and they can't seem to come together to build anything, it's because those separatist roots and foundations show their faces. Westerners, for the most part, they cannot get together to build anything because it's every man for himself. They'll come visit you here and there, gather to eat or something like that, but they are not going to build anything in a foreign land because we've been programmed that the West is where you strive and you struggle at. You don't go and build somewhere else. You understand? And you're coming from societies where your society built everything for you, so you never had to do that before anywhere else. Right? So that's the psychology behind it. The need to be together is removed because now you're in a Muslim country. So your true reality comes about that you've been taught not to be together, be for yourself. We don't come from a culture anymore where you are community based, meaning like living together, do everything together. That's not Western culture. So when you come over here, you pretty much keep that. You come together maybe for a class or something, but for the most part, people want to be left alone because that's the culture we come from. In the United States, the Muslims don't even live together. They come together in the community, but they don't live together. In the UK, in some parts, yes, you have Muslims who came from Muslim countries like Afghanistan. They have their own areas that they live. They make schools. They move in the same areas because they're coming from cultures like that anyway, and then they migrate to the West, and they keep that same community culture. However, if they get poisoned by that separatist ideal in the West, they're going to come to the Muslim lands and have the same mentality, unfortunately. So that's what the people are not understanding, that you're deeply afflicted and affected by being Western. And Westerners could care less about building something together, supporting all of the Westerners supporting one brother's business. That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Maybe if it's like some food, maybe, perhaps. But for the most part, no, that's not the case. If you're making a business over here and expecting the Western expat Muslim community to support you, you can forget it. You're going to drown. You're going to drown. Because from what I've noticed and what I've seen, yeah, you're not going to get supported like that. No. No. It's going to be strangers supporting you for the most part. Also, what I did notice is that the non-Muslims from the West, they come together and they have communities because they want to forget that they're in a Muslim country. So people who would never be together in their own countries come here and gather together because it's now them against us. They want to forget. They won't want to hear the adhan. They want to party. They're doing their thing. They are trying to create a Western bubble. And even it has been reported in the news, in different blogs, Western blogs here in the UAE, that the British stay away. They're standoffish and they do not integrate into the society. They do not try to get close to the Emiratis or any other group that is here. They stay to themselves. So of course they're going to band together to create a Western bubble. They want to feel as comfortable and as at home as possible. So what we do in the West, gathering together to feel that Islam, at the masjid, if those of you who move around each other, you live around the Muslims, whatever, however that makes you feel, they do the same thing when they come here. So it's not true togetherness. It's about I need to forget the fact that I'm in a Muslim country. So let's get together, let's drink our beer, because they allow you to do that here. You can buy your alcohol, you can have a Western life and forget you're around Muslims. That's why they snare at you when you come in certain areas that is commonly occupied by Westerners, non Muslim Westerners. If you come around their areas and you got on all black, they staring at you. They looking like, what are you doing here? I think they didn't get the memo. They forgot where they are. So you're a reminder. If they see you, you're a reminder. In the thobe or in the abaya or in the niqab, you're a reminder of where they are. And they wanted to forget about that. They're trying very hard to forget where they are. Okay? So all of those things have to be taken into consideration. I told the sister, when you come here, you have to piece together a life. And you definitely have to integrate so that you feel grounded and feel a part of the society. She also mentioned how, well, I mentioned it first and she agreed, that most of the Westerners are always talking trash about the locals. Always. They complain. They have negative things to say about them, even though the locals treat them nice. Imagine that. They treat them nice. They only see good behavior from them for the most part. Of course, there's some negativity sometimes. That's human beings. But the fact that you're being treated with kindness, yet you still talk about the Muslims as if you're in that country and you're talking trash like that, is the reason why many of them are barred from khair and then eventually even leave after being here for a long time. They've been here for years and then they complain and say there's no community, there's nothing here for us. Basically, code language, there's no Western togetherness. We want our own schools, like we want to be together, we wanted to feel like back home. To the point that people are even considering going back because they can't take not having a community. I equate it to being institutionalized. For those who know people who have been incarcerated, or if you have been incarcerated, you know the challenges of breaking those mental shackles as well as habits that you developed while you were confined behind bars. And then when you come out on the streets and you still have those habits, you may have a family member tell you, you don't have to do that anymore. You home. That's the equivalent. The Western Muslim wants to create the prison of the Western communities in a Muslim country. When you're free, you're in a Muslim world. This is a Muslim society. Learn how to function in it. You're free. You don't have to do that no more. Like they tell the people that got out of jail, out of prison. You don't have to do that no more. You home. But another thing too, they're always considering going somewhere else. They don't have any loyalty to any particular Muslim country. Yeah, I think I'm going over here. We're going to go over there. I don't know what they're looking for. UAE has everything that you need. But again, it seems like they're blinded. They're being blinded. Everything that they need is here. From social life, functionality, commerce, e-commerce, everything is here for them. Education, everything's here. It's a completely functional society. Every Muslim nationality is here. I mean, every Muslims from every nationality is here. But that doesn't mean anything. If that's not blindness, I don't know what is. It's a sad shame. She asked me, well, do you feel constrained? I said, absolutely not. I feel at home. I feel 100% comfortable. I can mix and mingle with everybody. I love the Muslims. And I don't confine myself to Westerners at all. I deal with them to a degree, but I don't solely and exclusively look and search to be with Westerners. I'm 100% fine with the Muslims, regardless of where they come from. As long as you're a good person, you're not on no drama. You know what I mean? It relates to doing business. You don't even have to be from Ahl Sunnah. If you were doing business, you could bring me some dunyawi benefit, no problem. I'll deal with you based upon that. If you're from Ahl Sunnah, then of course I'll deal with you on a personal level. If you're a good person still. Because that's no guarantee. Being a good person just because you're from Ahl Sunnah. So the mindset is important. And that is going to make or break your experience here. Try to keep yourself from complaining. Oh, okay, they brawling. Oh, wow. Kids. Anyway, get your mindset together. I'm trying to give you some perspective so you understand that this is what people are going through psychologically, and they have not figured it out. That the culture we come from is separate. And they also teach you, you already know, to be indifferent from the Arab, period. Because it's not a Westerner that I come across, except for whom Allah has had mercy upon, the people who actually love this country, and then they speak well. They say the truth about the Emirati, they say the truth about the country, they love the country, they have friends from amongst them, and things like that. But for the rest of everybody else, they have all sorts of terrible things. A'udhu billah. But that comes from the West. It's poison from the West. How can you see people treating you well, yet you still speak ill of them? That's a serious, serious problem. A serious problem. Another thing, subhanAllah, my son was at a gathering with the Salafi Emiratis. He went with his father. He said it was a young man who was Arab, Western, born in America. He's sitting apart from everybody. The Sheikh was there, Sheikh Yaqub, Hafidhullah was there, right? Their brothers were asking him questions and things like that. So this young brother is sitting away from everybody. He talks to my son, he talks to my son's father. Asked them about Germantown. Oh, y'all American? Oh, okay. He's telling them, I was born in America, but I'm from, one of them shammy countries and things like that. But my son described them as, he told me he met him at the time of the gathering, and then now a week later he's giving me an update. He said, don't you know this guy? He asked us about Germantown. He said, I knew he was acting weird. He asked me about Germantown, and I said, oh, I don't really know. I don't really deal with all of that. Like, I don't have no connection to it, which is true. I didn't have Ziad in the community. He would go with his father to Jumu'ah here and there, but we lived far away from Germantown, right? That's, of course, if anyone wants to learn about Salafi, I'm sending them to Germantown Masjid. And that's the community that I come from. But I didn't make my children community-based because there's a lot of corruption that goes on, unfortunately, in the community. I watch my friends' children get corrupted in the community by Muslims. So I grew up in the community, became Muslim at 15, as you all know. And I saw a lot of stuff, So you could get messed up. And I didn't want that to happen to my children because the culture there, unfortunately, is first amongst the Salafi Americans, the converted community. Culture is first over Islam and Salafiyah. So I didn't want my children to be in the mix of all of that. So my son was like, oh, I don't know. I don't really, deal with that or whatever. Alhamdulillah, Ziad learns. He got the books of Sunnah. He's reading Usul Sunnah, Sharh Sunnah. He's reading, Sharh Sunnah, Usul Sunnah, the books of Muhammad Abdul Wahab. Alhamdulillah, these kids, my kids, mashallah, they raised on Salafiyah. They Salafi. May Allah preserve them. But the fact that this young man actually called my ex-husband to say, oh, I was actually surprised, why your son say, he don't really deal with, he don't really know about Germantown or whatever. That's kind of strange. Why, y'all Salafi or whatever, why is he saying that? Excuse me, why are you checking to find out why my son said he don't really know about? He's been here since he was 15. He's 20. What does he have to do with Germantown right now? He's in a Muslim country. He connected to the religion, not a community. Why would he still be connected to Germantown? I don't keep up on what's going on in Germantown, Philadelphia. That makes no sense. I'm here. Why is my brain in Philadelphia? That makes no sense. You understand what I'm saying? So he was like, I knew it was something up with this guy. He sat away from the Arab and he linked up with, you know, whoever spoke English and was like fanboying over, how people fan around the shuyukh. The Westerners, they like treat them like they're celebrities. That's another thing that I noticed. In the Muslim world, the Muslims respect the ulama. They don't treat them like celebrities. They don't treat them like celebrities. They have respect for the shuyukh, nah. But we got some dumb celebrity culture going on. And when you get around the shuyukh, they're like, shake it, no. It's a weird interaction. It's a weird interaction. You don't see the Salafi out of acting like that at all. And they have respect for the shuyukh. They do. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to let y'all know, my experience. All of this is a part of Hijrah because these are the things that you're faced with. You're faced with yourself when you come here. You're faced with yourself. And a lot of people are not self-aware. They don't know what they're feeling. They can't describe what they're feeling. They feel frustrated. They have women complaining. And then sometimes the men just give in and be like, okay, well, we just got to leave. Or the women is like, I just want to go. Or even the men say, man, I can't do this. I think I'm going to go somewhere else. And that's sad. That's a sad thing. But I'm just putting it out there for you to give you something to think about. UAE, what I noticed, I did the most growing over here. SubhanAllah, I did the most growing in this country and have reached milestones in this country more than I had ever in any other Muslim country or even in the United States. Realizations, everything coming to a full circle for me. Growth. Things being revealed to me because it was time for it to be. Decisions that I had to make, difficult decisions that I had to make in my life. Clarity, being able to actually speak without being cut off or people getting defensive because I'm speaking about the culture and they acting like I'm talking about their mother. So they want to get defensive and fight you as if you're talking about them personally. When you speak about the things that need to change and what problems we have and things like that. I don't have to. I can speak freely. I've grown. I was able to offlet so many things that was inside of me from effects of being in that place. So yeah, community, you got to make your own. You got to make the best of it, and you have to get into society if you want to feel like you're actually a part of it. Give back to it. If you want to feel comfortable. If UAE, you want to make it your home. And a lot of people don't even talk about it in that way. Yeah, this is my home. I'm not going nowhere. If they had the next opportunity to bounce, they would. Or we're going to try another country after being here for years. Hey, you never know. I might wind up over here, over West Africa. I might wind up, I don't know. I'm going to try this country or try that country. What are you looking for? I don't know. But that's for everybody to reflect upon, and you'll see, Allah allow y'all to get here, and those who are here, you probably can relate to what I'm saying. You probably can. Those who are going to be on their way, just be on the lookout. These are the things you're going to face. I had to warn sisters who were moving to Saudi about the sisters in Saudi, that they're going to poison you when you get off the plane. Why? So they can keep you right in their little miserable bubble. So you'll never, ever get the benefits of the Saudi society. You'll never see it from another angle. You'll only see it from the Western angle, which is a poisonous angle, unfortunately. And that's sad. But anyway, that's it for tonight. Inshallah, I will see you all in the next video. I appreciate all of you tuning in, as usual. And don't forget, Hijra mandate sacrifice. Ma'as salama.